Welcome to the Bomb Life Podcast, where fitness, mindset, and real talk collide. This isn't just about workouts. It's about transforming your body, mind, and life. Get ready for unfiltered conversations, expert advice, and the motivation you need to level up in every way. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Bomb Life Podcast. Today, I have my co-host back on with me, Jen Corte. Welcome back, Jen.
Yay. Glad to be here.
It's been an interesting start.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Jen blew out her pants. Not with shit.
Yeah, I put my pants on and I tore my booty.
No,
My booty jeans. Yeah, it's just
like, what
I
you
don't know.
do, big booty Judy?
Yeah, well, it's weird. I gained 2 pounds and I think it literally went all to my ass.
Oh, God.
Not even joking.
And then I had a female accident. I'm back in. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Please don't start sweating. Yeah, it's been interesting, and it's been a very interesting week, actually month, since you and I last podcasted on here. We got some really good feedback from that episode that we did.
Yes.
I'm sure pissing a lot of people off. Did you get any feedback, like from your followers and people that listen to you and work with you, and what they thought of the show?
Just like honestly, I got tons of different feedback. All mostly positive, just like wow, I had no idea. Like you went through so much and it's like, oof, I only barely hit on things, right?
I know, that's what I was gonna say, like, we barely talked about stuff.
Yeah, barely skimmed the surface.
Mhm.
And, in general, the views were really great, like on the videos and everything. Like you could tell people were super interested.
Yeah.
Some crazy comments over on YouTube, which is new for you to be over on YouTube and have the shorts, but the
Yep.
shorts were like going pretty viral. And this person commented, I don't know if you remember, I sent you the screenshot, and they said, I don't feel sorry for women. All women are losers. And it was like,
Okay.
where did that even come from? Number one,
No.
I never asked you to feel sorry for me. Or I don't feel
Mhm.
sorry for myself. Um,
I know, it's
but
like, "Boo, who hurt you?"
as a mom of 3 boys, it's really hard to realize that there's men out there that don't respect women.
There's a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot, and they really got burned. I'm always fascinated by the feedback that we get, and that, some men take the time to stop and say that, and yes, you guys make sure I forgot to even say that in the beginning, that this is now on YouTube, so you can watch, our videos too. So if you're listening on, like, iTunes or, Apple or Amazon or whatever, you can go over and watch the clips on there too. Um But it's just sad, and hurt people, the saying, hurt
Yep.
people,
Yep.
and he's hurt trying to hurt other people, but, I had a couple people, I think I texted you right away, come up to me in the gym,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that happens every now and then. People are like, "Are you Melissa?" I'm like, "Yes, I am,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh my god, the Bomb Life podcast?" Uh-huh, they're like, "I love the show," and 2 guys, it was men, had come up to me, and they were like, "I love that show with you and Jen, I started following her," and he was just like, "It was just real, some of the stuff was hard to hear." He's like, "But it was real, I love the podcast." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yay!"
it's so cool to have like men and to reiterate, we're not here to bash men at all. We just
No,
unfortunately have had some experiences with men as men have had experiences with women,
right,
right? But it's really cool to get gain that aspect, I mean, as far as like personal friends and stuff, there's quite a bit of feedback, there from men, like I said, that were just kind of taken aback by the story. And then there's others just like, wow, that was really good. And that are, our back and forth was really good. And it's like, well, yeah, we've had these conversations for 3 years.
I know, I
It's
know.
like, yeah. So this is very natural for us to have these conversations with each other about these topics.
Right? And I don't mean to, like, keep sounding like we're, like, I don't know, keeping something, but we both have, like, really personal stories that we will share and we want to share, but we have to ease into it.
Right.
And, for us to even come on a mic and talk about our experiences, it's tough. It's not easy. And Jen has encouraged me to use this platform to keep talking because, the shitty stuff that I've been through, the shitty stuff that you've been through, the only way that we can have positive, I guess, come out of that is for us to grow from it and to just get better, but then also to be able to help others. And
Right.
so someone had sent me a DM and it said like, "Well, when are you gonna share your story? You know, you keep talking, like, what happened to you?" And they're very sweet about it. And I'm like, "Within time, like, due time, like, it'll come out, but we just both just want to share our experiences more and just, have conversation on here, and then in a couple episodes, I'm sure you and I will both feel more comfortable opening up."
Right, and it has to be very natural, it
Yeah,
has to just kinda come out natural. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be recording and it will just feel like the right time and totally be unplanned, and that's what this
seriously.
podcast is about, is being unfiltered and not really fully planning exactly what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and but yes, I've always encouraged you because I know for myself, when I've shared my story with women that I worked with and, my groups and things in the past,
Mhm.
with my social media training and stuff. And they would be like, wow, you encouraged me to leave this abusive relationship, or it just, you connect with them in a different way.
Yeah,
And people seem to forget that social media is about connection
right.
and connecting with people and working with people. And so they won't just see you, the fitness person, they'll see you and what you've been through. And that makes it an even better, I guess, story when you can see Melissa in the gym every day. I mean, when this happened to you, I think you only missed like 1 or 2 days, if that.
Mhm.
And it was really more so because you were handling a lot of things and without a car and,
Right.
stuff of that nature. So it wasn't even, the fact of not being able to be there fully, but it was,
Yeah.
so it's that's when it comes down to the no excuses and kind of, the lies we tell ourselves and
Right.
what we're gonna
Right.
talk about today.
Oh, the
Mm,
lies. Oh, lies, 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 and it's
yeah.
we'll dive into this, but it's so funny because when Jen and I were, like, coming up with, like, what are we gonna talk about? What's gonna be our main focus and stuff, and I was like, "Man, the lies we tell ourselves, and then we just justify it and write this whole story so we make sure we fully believe it, and then we take the time to convince others of why our story is real and our justification for everything," and that was such a hard really, these last 2 weeks have been really tough with me, and I don't know if it's just the season with it now
Mhm.
shifting into summer and kids are home, schedules change, the weather, it's just a really big shifting time of the year for people. That summer transition is hard, so I don't know if I'm seeing that more in my clients or what, but man, the way people will spend literally because they get like a 30-minute coaching call with me with my one-on-one clients.
Mhm.
And the other day, this person was on with me and literally spent almost their entire time just justifying why they can't add one more thing to their plate and why they can't do it, why nothing else can give. And I'm like, I just sat there and I'm like, do you hear yourself right now?
Mm-mm.
I'm like, just pause and listen to what you're telling yourself. And you can keep going on and on and on, but I will never believe what you're telling me right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And
just
I
say that
just
it's not important. Just say that it's not important because that's literally what
Mhm.
you're saying without saying it. You're just saying it's not important because if it was important, you would pivot. We would find out other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
normally Thursday morning, I go for a walk, I go to the gym, but I'm here recording this podcast and I have to pivot. It'll get done after.
Mhm.
It'll be an evening walk, it'll be gym a little bit later in the day. It's just
Yeah.
you have to move things around. You have to make yourself a priority.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. Like, I get, the people that I work with are extremely high achieving. Like, I work with someone,
Yeah.
OBGYN, a lawyer. They own their own practice, own like therapy, counseling sessions, CEOs. Like, these people are busy. So when they say, like, I have no time, if you looked at
Right.
their schedule, yeah,
Yeah.
you would probably think there was no time. Totally get it. But again, like you said, like, what do you prioritize? And
Yeah, you
we've
have to make time.
yeah, we have seen this creep up in relationships too. It's so weird because I look back on situations in my relationship where this person was lying to me. And it's like I had that gut instinct and I knew, but I
Mhm.
was like, well, and I would, like, write these stories and then looking back on who I was then, I realized that, like, my self-love and my value, it was not where it needed to be to step up and be like, "Hey, no, you don't deserve this. Hold on, Melissa.
Right.
You're fucking better than that. Like, you don't deserve this bullshit that he's feeding you right now." And I was not prioritizing myself in the way that I needed to, in the way the version Melissa now would behave if I was in that same situation. It's just it's crazy because it's the same thing, valuing yourself, going to the gym, making time, like, what do you hold sacred? I didn't hold those things sacred in my relationship, and I let people lie to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Dating is so low on my priority list right now. It's why I'm single. I would rather go to the gym.
Mhm.
I would rather meditate, go for a walk
Are
by
you
myself,
seeing that trend on social media too right now? I don't know if it's
Oh,
just my algorithm
absolutely.
or what, but, like, so many women are like, "If you have got to be some fucking magical unicorn to come in here and disrupt my peace."
Oh, yeah. And it's just learning from the past, like learning from those past mistakes and realizing how you put somebody at the forefront of your life who really ultimately didn't give a shit about you at the end of the day. It wasn't putting you at the forefront of their life.
No.
And ultimately, for me, destroyed me, on
It
so
oh,
many
well,
different
yeah,
levels.
yeah,
And wow, I mean, I was so just like didn't know how to even take care of myself, and because I was so busy taking care of, kids and family
I know.
and the relationship, and I was so worried about the relationship. Like, I don't know if you remember when you were going through some stuff with your last relationship that you need to share more about eventually, and you were just kind of spiraling, and I was like, "You have to take that and put it on a shelf. You have to take what's going on right now, you have to put it on a shelf and tell yourself, 'I'm gonna come back to it later,' because if you don't, you'll get nothing done. You'll just keep spiraling,
Yeah,
and you won't get anything done." And and for me, I put things on the shelf in the way of men, and it's literally just it stays on the shelf. I just I don't know. I mean, I go on dates and I, see, a couple people and there's somebody that I like, but it's just how now do I work this back into my
right,
life, this
right.
relationship? And do I even want to? I for me, I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm willing to give up like 1 day a week," and the man's like, "Oh, well, he wants to be with me every day or talk all day," and I'm just so not like this clingy person. I
Mhm.
never really have been, but I'm definitely not now. I think I definitely went to a little bit more of an avoidant.
Yeah,
Need to come back this way. But a guy said something really interesting on my page yesterday, and he said that he loves single women that are happy single because they're not clingy.
cool.
And I thought that was really interesting, because but then I unfortunately find men that are clingy. And so it's trying to find somebody that you can find that balance with,
Mhm.
of that being loyal to each other even though you're not seeing each other all the time or living
Right.
under the same roof, and they have their life and you have
You have
your life.
yours.
And there's a lot of people that don't know how to navigate that. And so
Yeah,
they end up telling you that, "Oh, you're broken or you need to heal." And it's like, "No, actually, I'm not broken anymore. And the fact that I am healed is the reason why I don't need to be with you all of the time.
right.
Why I don't need to talk to you all of the time. Why I can have my own life and let you have your own life." Right?
Mhm.
So it's just finding that balance, but it's definitely becoming very popular, and I think that that's why there's so many men that are angry, is because
Yeah, probably.
we don't need them, and they're just like, "What?" Like we talked about last time,
Yeah.
on the previous episode. It's just this really weird transition, I think, that's happening,
Mhm.
with women being able to pay their own bills and support themselves, and you've heard the term crack, right? like cracking, like in sex, like fucking. And they're saying,
No?
I've got to go get cracked. I just got cracked last night,
Okay.
right? And I'm over here like, I cracked myself, you know, like, because I don't, I don't need that,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, like, I don't need that because for me to get ready and have somebody come over or go to their house, okay? Let's just like do the timeline here. I've got to get all of my work done. I've had to have gone to the gym. I've had to have eaten. And then I've got to go get ready, wash my hair, shave, makeup, find clothes. We're talking
It's a
like,
lot for us.
yeah, a 2-hour process. And then that person's coming over to my house. And then, we get together, we do our thing. It lasts a couple of minutes and maybe
Mhm.
I get off, maybe I don't. And then even then it's like, okay, cool, that was a cool 2 minutes. And then, okay, maybe we might do that again and it might go for 3 minutes this time. And then it's like, okay, cuddle, snuggle, dude's passing out because, you just gave him their sleeping pill. And
You're
you're sitting there wondering if you need to go crack yourself in the bathroom while they're
my
asleep because
god.
you didn't get yours. And then it's like, okay, you've got to go now. Right. So then they leave. And then it's washing sheets, washing yourself, getting lack of sleep. And
You
I'm
are
literally
making this
like,
sound terrible.
I know. So it's just, not
Oh.
at the end of the day for me, I'm like, I can literally just break out my rose,
Oh my
the
god.
rose. And in 32 seconds flat, I've cracked myself and I get to go to sleep and I don't have to fucking wash my sheets. I don't have to
Oh,
get
Jen.
ready. It's just good.
Oh,
I
Jen,
like it.
this is why I love you so much.
And guaranteed to come every time.
Oh my god.
Every time. Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, everything that you said is, like, not untrue. It's like or
But
not true.
it brings up a good point though. Have you ever been cracking yourself, right? And you're like, "Man, I'm just not fully feeling this today," but you don't give up. You get yourself there. Sometimes it takes a little longer than others. But why
Uh-huh.
the fuck do we not do that with men? Why the hell do
I
we lie
know.
about having an orgasm?
Yep.
Why do we do that?
That is such a good point, and I think it's not talked about enough of why women lie
Yeah,
when it comes to orgasms, and I think that is a topic I'm sure we've covered that before. We've had sex experts on before and therapists and stuff, and it's gotten brought up, but, like,
my
real, like,
client was
girl
a sex
talk?
therapist. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. She was on this podcast, I believe. Um,
Yep.
but the fact that women feel the need to even lie about something like this and so intimate, and I would love if we could be like a radio show and have people call in, and be like, "So if
Yeah.
anyone like,
Love
does this
line.
and" Yeah, if anyone is lying and, like, faking their orgasm, please call in to 1-800 because
Did you come?
it'd be really interesting to see what kind of feedback we got, and I know there would be a lot of women calling in and saying that, "Yeah, couple times a week, I'm just faking it."
Yeah.
And it is, like, the biggest lie to yourself. It's not showing you that you are worth it. It is lack of communication. It's making him think that he's doing something and he's good at something or
Oh my
fulfilling your
god.
needs, and he's not.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's, like, really
It makes
mean to
him
do to
think that
him.
he's a god to women, it's like, unfortunately, yes, our body reacts in ways, our vagina, our pussy, whatever you wanna call it, it obviously reacts, right? We get wet, we get excited, we get turned on, but for us to climax, on average, 21 minutes,
Mhm.
and there's, like, 60% of women that are not orgasming ever, ever, ever.
Yep.
And it's just men need to slow down a tiny bit and do what they need to do to figure out what that person likes.
Yeah.
We are not just a body. But my point to that is men need to not treat women like a one size fits all. And my ex, the fuck boy, I swear he just probably has sex the exact same with every single woman.
Ugh.
and it makes you feel like he's trying to be in some porno or something, like, "Okay, let's do
Yeah.
this, and then let's do this, and let's do that." And I'm not gonna lie, like, it was good in the beginning
Mhm.
years ago. It was new, it was giving me what I needed at that time,
Mhm.
but then other things started ruining it, which we'll get to, but it got to a point where I was lying pretty much all of the time
Ugh,
about coming, and I had to because his ego could not handle it. Because yes, you do have to be careful about men's ego because if you don't, then they're gonna have a problem.
right.
So it's
Yes.
like this balance of trying to have this conversation with somebody that can
Yeah.
actually accept what you're saying to just say, "Hey,
Right.
there's outside influences that are coming into the bedroom that are keeping me from being able to be in the moment and to get there with you."
Right.
It wasn't his dick, it wasn't his skill set, it was all these outer lying things,
Mhm.
and then it didn't feel like he was present with me because it just felt like this act. It became something that just felt like this act that he did
Right.
with everybody. And so then when I did try to discuss with him that, because I did try a couple of times, and at
Mhm.
first he seemed like
Did you tell him?
understanding.
Did you tell him that you had been
Yeah.
faking,
Yeah, I
or were
told him,
you
yeah, I did. I said, "I've actually been faking and it's really hard for me, and it was crazy because he asked me straight out, "Well, how often are you faking it?" And I'm like, "With your dick penetration all the time,
like,
years. It's been like years now.
oh,
Oral, maybe half the time."
how did he handle it?
Not well, because he compared this to my ex-husband. I got off every time, like, no problem, because his dick was literally a magic stick. It was just, like, perfect. Some people it's just different,
Yeah, it
right?
is. What was the reason? Like, the main reason why you were faking during those times? This is the part
Because
where I think
I
men want to know and women
Right,
want to be able to relate.
right, because I was afraid it was gonna hurt his feelings. I was afraid he was gonna compare himself to other
If you
men
were,
I've
like,
been
in the
with.
moment and you said something, you thought you were gonna hurt his feelings, or
No, like, I never did it in the moment, but I just would get it felt like he put all this pressure on me that I needed to have an orgasm.
Mhm,
It wasn't for him lack of trying, I can say that, but then the more I felt like he was putting this pressure on me, the more I was like, "This is never gonna
it's
happen."
not gonna happen. Why didn't you say anything in that moment?
In that moment, I was like, "Can't,
Easier?
like, stop it." Yeah, just pretend, be done with it. Like, at that point,
Mm,
I was so far, like, just feeling alone in it, right?
yeah,
And so, when I did talk to him, he like I said, initially, it was pretty understanding, like, "Okay, let's try this or try that. Tell me what you need,
mhm,
da 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 da." And from there on, it's still just, like, really didn't work. So then I got to this point where, like, after the fact, he would be like, "Did you come? Did you fake it? What's going on?"
mhm.
And then he would get really angry at me and be like, "Well, other
See,
women haven't had any problems.
right, you're the problem. I've never had
I'm the
this happen
problem."
before. God,
Right.
my
And
ex
I
said the
wasn't
same thing to
comparing
me.
him Yeah, and I wasn't comparing him to my ex at all. He just knew that. We've
Yeah.
had those conversations because he's just this guy that wanted to know everything about everybody. He's very, I don't know, competitive, or I don't know what it
Insecure?
was.
Just
Like,
say insecure if you're sitting there seeking and need to know,
probably.
like, everything to be, like, able to compare and have details, like, whatever.
Yeah. So then he started making me feel bad, like, oh, there's all these women that were able to be with him and get off. And so then I didn't want to say anything to him because I'm
Mhm.
like, he's just going to start fucking other women, which he was doing anyways all along, but that's another story. And, that I found out later. And it's just, so I didn't tell him for a multitude of reasons, but for him to put me down and say that all these other women got off.
Yeah, that's fucking
So then
low.
yeah, it's really low, but then that's what made me stop and be like, "You know what? I bet the fuck they they didn't. I bet
Mhm.
they were lying too,
Yep.
because he clearly can't tell what an orgasm is and what it
Right.
isn't,
Right?
and
Right?
he thinks that he just does these things, lick this, poke this, touch that, kiss this, like we're just this machine, like
I
just
know.
put in this code and then it's gonna spit out an orgasm.
Ri
And
right.
it's just like, no, bro, like
I
that's not
can't
the
relate to
case.
this. I can honestly say I have never faked it. Not once. Not in my marriage, not with anyone else. Like, if I just wasn't gonna get there, I just didn't get there. Like, and that was like a
Yeah,
choice. I've never faked it.
yeah,
Yeah, not saying I've never had sex and not and have an orgasm every time. I'm saying I've never faked
right.
one. Uh,
Never done that before either until him. You know, in my
mhm.
2 prior relationships that were serious, like, I never did that with them. I never felt like I had to. Well,
Yeah,
my ex-husband, the Russian, I never had a problem,
right,
but that wasn't a him thing, meaning he didn't make me come, I made myself come
right,
because I would ride him and I could get off on his dick
right.
like I'm cracking myself. That's all it was, right? You know, I
Yeah,
was using
and
his dick.
that is a
Uh,
situation,
so it
but
was a little bit different, but I
mhm,
couldn't do that with fuckboy. Like,
right.
I don't know, it was just soon as I get on top of him, it was just like this pressure, like, "Okay, she's gonna come," like,
Well, and
orgasm, "Okay, are you getting
you
off? Come, baby," like, "Oh my
yeah, you
stop."
mentioned, though, that he was having sex with other women. You found out that a lot of shit was going on. He was lying to you, and you were believing
Yeah,
the lies. You can't tell me that mentally you didn't know somewhere in your gut, and that
yeah,
affected you mentally while you were having sex with this guy. As a woman, you can't separate those things. Like, if you know something is truly going on, or if you have fears and worries in this relationship, whatever, that's 100% going to impact whether or not
yeah,
you can orgasm. I mean, we have had so many experts come on and talk about that and how that is such a
yeah.
huge part of the experience too. So I've got to imagine that all played a role for you as well. Like, you knew, or you
Oh,
knew
yeah.
how many other women he had been with.
Oh,
His
I started, like
experience.
yeah, I started learning all kinds of things, as somebody
Mhm.
that's got a body count, that just barely approached double digits,
Yeah.
it was like, holy hell, like, this person's been with that many people in a month's time
Yes.
sometimes,
Yes.
that's not what he sold to me,
Yeah.
quote, unquote, "sold to me." When we met, not at all. That's not at all what he sold me that he was and that he was looking for.
Right.
So I can honestly say that my first two husbands, I don't ever recall them fully like lying to me. There were some things towards the end of my first relationship. I'm not going to talk about that, but I have to say that the Russian, he was that narcissist that was just, I don't need to lie. Like, I will just fucking tell you everything. I don't
Right.
give a shit,
Yeah.
right? I will tell you, like, he didn't need to manipulate and lie because he just didn't
He didn't
care to.
care. Yeah.
So, upon meeting Fuckboy, I just couldn't believe that there was, an adult man. He was, like, 41 at the
Mhm.
time, and that would need to lie about these things, that would need to get like validation constantly from so many women in
Yeah.
person, social media, whatever, in his phone. Like, I had no idea. He told me, "Oh, I'm from this great Greek family that was married. They were married forever,
Yeah.
they were each other's soulmates, blah, blah, blah. I want that. I want to grow old with somebody. I want to get married, yada, yada, yada."
Spreading it on thick.
Sold me the dream. And
Yeah.
then it was like within shit, like a couple of weeks, I was already catching him in lies. And I was just like, no way,
Mhm.
no way, no
Yeah, and
way.
isn't it crazy how when we look back on it too, we can see how soon the red flags started coming up and how soon the lies actually started?
Oh, yeah.
like, I can remember my ex, God, I know exactly where I was living, I know the age of, like, the kids, like, I know how deep we were into the relationship, and I'll never forget, he came in one day and was just acting weird, like, he went outside and then came in, and he was just acting different, and he just kept touching his face and, like, rubbing his nose and stuff, and I was like, "Did you just go take something? Did you just vape something or whatever?" And I'm, like, completely against vaping, so anyone listening, if you fucking vape, I think it's just loser behavior. I said it.
Yeah. Gross.
And so he vaped, and I was like, "Did you just do that?" Or, like, "I thought you were quitting, and, like, what was going on?" And da, da, da. And he's like, "No, no." And he wanted to take the kids somewhere in his car. And he was just kinda like I could just tell. And that man
Yeah.
swore up and down that he didn't take anything, and then it was all in my head. And I'm like, "But I know you, and I know your behavior, and this is not normal." And then I was just the crazy one, and I was like, "Man, no, I know he fucking took something." Years later, years later, I get a phone call or a text. I think I got a text, like, honestly, not that long ago, and he was telling me basically that he was on drugs the whole time we were together, our whole relationship. I can't remember the name of it. Do you remember what I told you? It's like you can get the shit I'm not talking like he was on crack or meth or anything.
Yeah.
To start with a
Well, there
K, Krypton or crap. You can
mm,
get it at a gas station and smoke shops.
yeah, it's basically like a knockoff weed or something, isn't it?
You
Like
can,
some
like, use
kind
it
of
to replace
fruit to it?
narcotics too.
Okay, yeah.
Can't think of the name. I know someone's screaming it at their, phone right
Yeah,
now on
yeah,
radio, but, you can get very addicted to it, and I guess there's a lot of rehab centers that are just filling up with it right now, but he was on it in a heavy, heavy dose, and it would definitely impact him, and I don't know all the reasons and the details. I didn't even care. Like, when he called and told me,
yeah.
he was just telling me as part of, like, his healing steps, journey, process, whatever.
Recovery, yeah.
Recovery, thank you. And then at that point, I'm just like, I I fucking knew it, but I don't even care anymore, like, whatever, that doesn't impact me, the here, the now, whatever, you're gone anyways. But my whole point is, like, I saw that in the beginning, and I didn't stick to it. I believed the lie, and then, when you find out something like that, it's like, what else have you been lying about? What else were you not honest with me about? And if someone's lying about one thing,
Mhm.
you can guarantee they're lying about other things too.
Oh, yeah, and it's like catching them in the little lies. So it's like when it's little
Mhm.
lies, they say, "Oh, it's gonna be big lies," right? So it's just I don't know, it's so crazy. I You do because you tell yourself, I would tell myself with fuckboy, like, okay, well, he lied about this and I found out this, but I love him and he's so good with this and he's so good
Yes,
with that and he
there's the
doesn't
justification.
drink
Yep.
and he doesn't drink or he doesn't do drugs, so he can't be that bad.
He
But
doesn't hit me. He doesn't
yeah,
yell at
he
me like
didn't.
that.
Right,
Uh-huh.
he wasn't no, but it's so crazy. He didn't need to be physically abusive to me to completely destroy me in the way that I
Mhm.
looked at men for a very long time and
Right.
didn't trust men. Still, I mean, I will say that I will never say I'm grateful that that happened. He is absolutely my biggest regret in life.
I know what you mean, but, like, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be who you are today without that,
Right.
like,
Right.
but I know what you mean. I completely regret a lot of choices that I made, but then at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah. There's a lot of things though that I can look back in my life and be like, "I wish I wouldn't have done that," or, "I wish I would have taken a different path, if I would have
mhm,
known different." Sure, right?
yeah,
But I didn't regret them because I had children from that or a
right,
career from that or whatever, but I can honestly say that with him, I'm not okay, I don't even think it was him that forced me down that healing path. I think it was the loss of my first husband. You know, when that
mhm,
happened, which I'm not gonna dive totally into, but when he passed, that was such a hit to the system and to me and my kids that it forced me to level up in my life
sure,
for myself and
yeah,
for my kids because there was no fallback anymore.
right,
There was no other parent. There was nobody else. And I couldn't go down those dark rabbit holes that I had been going down with my mental health for years off and on, and that I was allowing myself to go down.
Right.
It's like it had to stop. So, I do feel like that was a way bigger impact and transition in my life. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I think if anything, fuckboy more so was the red flags, like actually being able to see the red flags. Like I can literally have a list now of things that I will not accept in a relationship or
Same.
even to go
Yeah.
out on a date with, right?
Yep.
That I was like, "Oh my gosh, like his social media. If I were to meet him today, and that sounds hypocritical and I'll address that in a second, but if I were to meet him today who he is now, I would literally not give this man a second glance or time of day.
Right.
And why I say I judge him based on his social media, and that sounds hypocritical because I have 11,000 followers that are majority like 80 something percent men.
Mhm.
I carry myself in a different way. And I'm not doing it for attention. This is genuinely my career. This is what I do. I network, I meet people, I engage with people. I don't answer my DMs. Ask all the guys in my DMs. I might answer 1% of my DMs that come through. I'm not there for that attention.
Mhm.
I'm not, people can judge me and say that I am. It's the same thing with you. Oh, look, she's working out in her, little short shorts and her sports bra and whatever. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm just at the gym and it's hot. Like,
Mhm.
this is what I do, right? He has nothing to gain from social media other than validation from women, and that's all that
Gross.
he's doing.
Yeah.
And he shifts. He's like a chameleon. What he posts about is based on who he's talking about. So if she's like this universe girl, or she's like this that's interested in sports, or she's
So now
more
he is too.
interested in horoscopes, or like, right, he mirrors you. And
Yeah.
so I like to look at a man's social media, and obviously I don't judge them too much on their following because again that would be hypocritical, but
Mhm.
it is the type of following. It is how they're engaging with them.
Yeah.
It's, are they engaging on their page as well and doing all of those things? Like, there's a lot of things that I can see. Is there consistency in how they behave? How many selfies are they putting up?
Yeah.
One.
It all goes back to the lie. Like, people
Yes.
put themselves out there in
Yes.
just this lying, deceptive way, and it's not the truth.
No.
Like,
No. No. And he says he does it to motivate people. And it's like, bullshit.
good.
You don't
'Cause
do it to motivate anybody.
and you only know this because you know the actual truth. Think of how many people see all his shit, and they're just like, "Oh my god, you're so motivating,
He's
you're
such a
great."
great guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I don't trust social media.
Mhm.
That's why I don't
You
trust a
can't.
lot of people on social media because, you know, this guy looks like he's got his shit together. He
Mhm.
looks like a good guy that understands women, and it's scary. Like, women, if you're listening to this, like, and men don't do this, he goes and like asks questions about like certain things. And I'm trying to think of something and I can't think about it right now, but like, oh, like, women, do you like flat bill hats or do you like curved hats,
Uh-huh.
right? Or women, would you date a guy that only made $50,000 a year? Why? Like, he's literally taking notes. He's like
Gross.
gaining information so that he can lie and manipulate
Right.
you.
Right?
And
It's crazy.
it's wild. Like, he's not at all who he portrays himself to
No,
be.
and most people aren't, and back in the day, we couldn't get away with this. Like, we didn't have
No,
social media and shit growing up. The
no.
person that you met and that you saw and that you fell in love with was that person. And
Yeah.
now it's insane how you can meet someone based on the internet and social media and everything. And
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, like I said,
it's just
he
crazy.
lied about what he was looking for. He lied about his morals. He lied about how long he'd lived in his mom's basement, which we discussed last time. He lied about, how long he's had his job. He lied about all these women were just his friends. All his exes were crazy. All his exes cheated on him.
Yeah.
And then it came out later that no, literally, he was the one always lying. He was the one always cheating.
Mhm.
He can't hold down a job.
Yeah.
He doesn't have all of these things. But by this time, it was like, and it's embarrassing to talk about this. It's like,
Oh, no.
Jen, what
Yeah.
the hell's wrong with you that you were with this big
Yeah.
ass loser that lived in his parents' basement,
Like, how did you
couldn't
not
hold a job, had a
yeah.
shitty car, and then couldn't even get you off in the bedroom? Seriously? He couldn't even fucking crack you right? What the
I
fuck is
know.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't even tell you like what is wrong with me in that moment. Like other than the fact that I was so scared to be
Yeah.
fucking alone
It goes so
and
deep.
he would lie and manipulate. Oh, yeah, this goes way back to childhood shit that thank God
Yeah.
now I've worked on for the last 4 years heavily. And that's why I know I'll never be with somebody like that again. But it does suck that for both men and women, that the lies and the red flags is the reason why a lot of us are single
Mhm.
because we don't trust. And I know people can lie anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's social media, it doesn't matter if I meet a guy in the gym, he could be lying to me, right? But
Yeah.
there's a different energy when it's in person versus online, for me at least.
Mhm.
I get somebody's vibe and just kind of where they're at, but I know that it sounds like I was just an idiot. And it is embarrassing because of that, because it's like, "Oh my gosh, you're this
Yeah. I know. I get it.
smart, successful person. How the hell did you fall for this loser?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And then when you have to, like, tell the story to other people and you have to hear like, right now, I know what you're doing,
yeah,
and you have to
yeah,
hear the words come out of your mouth of the choices that you made and what you allowed to happen, and you're like, "Oh my god, how" like, when I think back, like, things that I allowed and I tolerated and then I accepted or a position I put myself in, I'm like,
yeah,
"Okay, I know now I shouldn't have done that," or it sounds stupid, but in the moment, I'm like, I had all of these I had a reason. I had a reason to be there. I had, you know,
yeah,
we have our own story, but when I want people to hear all of this and to be aware of the lies and to really just the takeaway is to, like, know your gut. Listen to your gut.
yes.
Know that you are not crazy, that if you feel something, you cannot ignore that. If you find and
Mhm,
I think lying about an orgasm, believing the lies that other people tell you, that is a form of shrinking. It is a
mhm,
form of shrinking yourself and just being like, "I'm just gonna lie. I'm just gonna say I came because I'm just gonna get this done. I want it to be over with." And it's like, dude, where did you just take your self-value and self-worth? Like, you just threw it out the window. Like, stop and pause and have a conversation
yep,
around it, and if he can't handle that, then that's a whole other issue that you guys need to talk about, or maybe he's
mhm,
not the person for you, but we're reading this
exactly.
book right now in my group. It's called, oh my god, I couldn't remember yesterday. The Mountain Is You, and it's really
Mm,
good, and she talks about in the very beginning about, like, self-sabotaging in our belief system. And she says, like, what you believe about your life is what you will make true about your life. And God was that I hate saying
mhm,
it and I hate thinking about that. It's hard for me to swallow, but it is. It's what you believe you deserve and the treatment that you deserve, you're going to make that true in your relationships. And she says, like, be aware of outdated narratives. Be
mhm,
aware of things that you still might believe and it's not true anymore. And my self-worth and the kind of love and relationship that I thought I deserved and the low level of what I thought I deserved, I made that happen. I made
yeah,
that true about my life. And that fucking sucked. Like that's hard to look back on, but I don't regret that because I know it got me to where I'm at today.
mhm,
I know all the shitty things that I had to rebuild from and learn from. It's a lot of it was based around what I believed about my life then, and it helped me grow to believe the life that I deserve now.
absolutely, and
And
I
it
think
sucked, but
yeah, I think we tell ourselves that we don't deserve better. they can, for me at least, he convinced me that I didn't deserve better,
Mm,
basically. He wanted to degrade me in a way and take me down to his level so that I would do anything
mm,
for him. And so it's about dismantling somebody. It's about breaking somebody so that
sure.
they stay with you, so that they believe you, so that you're all they have, and that nobody else will want you, and that you're not worthy of better, that I won't find better. He literally told me, fuckboy literally told me that I would not find a better man than him, that he is a good man. He still thinks to this day that he is a good man
Yeah.
and that I would not find better than that. But you brought up an interesting point. I don't know if you've ever heard this. My therapist told me this years ago that women, unfortunately, we set the bar for our relationships with men, like romantic relationships, but we set that bar where our relationship is at with our father.
Well, that's terrifying.
Exactly. And if we're not aware of that, if we're not aware of where that bar's at in that relationship,
Mhm.
then that's why we don't have a belief that we deserve more because that person, our father, our dad, is the person that we put on that pedestal, whether it's right, wrong, indifferent.
Yeah.
And my dad, I know my dad loved me. I know my dad, he passed away a few years ago, but I know my dad loved me. Like I never questioned that.
Mhm.
And this is going to tell you the whole reason why I've had these relationships. I never questioned his love, like ever. My dad loved me tremendously, but my dad did bad things.
Mm.
My dad was a drug addict. My dad cheated on my mom. My dad left us when I was really little, was in and out of my life because of other women. I was not the priority, other women were the priority. But when my dad would show up, Jen would smile and she'd be happy and she was excited to see him and she loved him and she
Yeah.
didn't care because I was getting that love and attention from him right then and there. And that is one huge reason that I have never raised the bar with men in my life that I've been in relationships with. And I've just been happy when they show up because
Oh.
they're there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an ugly mirror to look in, but it's crazy. You have help. You have like tools there to be able to see
Yeah.
that like you don't have a bad picker. This is a direct reflection of that. What you do have
Yep.
now though is data to be able to look at that
Yep.
and be like, I did that. I fucked up. I picked the wrong partners, but now the Gen U today is aware of all of
Yeah.
that. And that's one thing that I love about awareness and that you know this now and you experience and you can see it and man, does that all make sense?
Yeah.
But like once you have that awareness, now it's your choice to make the change in the next step.
Yeah, well, and to
Now you
truly respect yourself and
yeah.
and not just know your value, but enforce the boundary around your value and your worth because it's it's a whole thing
Yep.
and it sucks. I would catch him in lies. And that's where he would tell people she's crazy and there were times I absolutely acted fucking crazy because when you're lied to like that
Exactly.
about everything, I felt like I was losing my mind and I had to find out the truth
Yes.
regardless of what it took to get there.
Yes.
And I did. I found out the truth. And God, I sometimes wish that I hadn't found out all the things that I found out. But then it got to a point where he was like, okay, she knows that I'm a liar and she knows that I lied to her and she's still seeing me. Because we really only dated. This is like an 8-year ordeal, but we were really only together, I don't even wanna say a year fully,
That's crazy.
right? It was just this off again, on again, off again, on
Mhm.
again. COVID came around and it was like,
Oh,
"Oh, there's no dating, there's no anything.
right.
Fuck your ex, hook up with your ex,
Yep.
whatever." But then when that mask came off for him and he knew that I was still accepting him as that terrible person who had
Oh,
lied to
yeah.
me, who had cheated on me, he was like, "Oh, well, now I can get away with this."
Yeah, and he probably wasn't even, like, consciously thinking that, like, we do so many things subconsciously, and he was doing it, he was collecting data on you, and
Oh,
people
well,
do this
yeah.
all the
Well, he
time.
would blame me for his cheating.
Sure.
He would tell me because at that point I was starting my healing journey and I was like full on, in therapy, putting down boundaries, telling him I wouldn't see him, telling him I wouldn't have sex with him, that I didn't want to talk to him.
Mhm.
And the time between seeing him was going more and more and more and more. And then I would find out that he fucked somebody like my neighbor. Let's not forget the neighbor
Yeah.
that started stalking me after she found out I lived here because he told her just the chaos that this person
Yeah.
brought into my life. But he
All the
blamed
chaos.
me. He said, I fucked her because you didn't want me.
Right?
You
I
don't
mean,
want
that
me.
right there, like, just shows you what kind of person he is, but
I'm
every
like, am I
people will
supposed to want you?
right? Like, the takeaway is I want people to realize that, like, it's human nature to keep seeing what we can get away with. What behavior can we get away with? And people will lie to you to see if you accept it. If they get caught, like how do you move forward? And again, this could be like all way back here in the back of your mind. It's not even like like in the subconscious surface level where we know we're doing it. But I can tell you there's so many women that I've talked to and like they know that their husbands are lying to them. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
been deceitful about certain text and phone calls and they know the certain behaviors are going on and then they keep doing it and then the women accept it and then they're like, "I don't understand." And I'm like, "You're not taking
Mm-hmm.
action. Why would he stop?" And the same thing for women. You know, I know men that have women doing
Oh,
the
yeah.
same exact thing. It goes
Absolutely.
both ways, but it all goes back to like listen to your gut. Be
Mm-hmm.
very, very aware of the lies that we tell ourselves and then how we try and justify this with your relationship, with your weight loss journey, with what you accept, like why you're doing certain things. And we will continue to lie to ourselves. And when we continue to lie to ourselves,
Yep.
we lose the belief and the faith in ourselves. I've said this before because I know I've done podcasts before on lying, but it's been a really long time. Imagine that if you had a child and every day you told that child, "We're going to go to the park. We're gonna go to the park today," and then you don't go.
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, we're gonna go to the park today," and you don't go. What eventually would happen? You know, like, that kid isn't gonna believe shit that comes out of your mouth. It's gonna be like,
Right.
"Mom's a liar. She says things, she doesn't do them. Okay, sure," and there is gonna be a 0 relationship there. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing happens with us. If you continuously lie to yourself and say, "You're gonna start Monday. Oh, I'm gonna, like, not have sex with him anymore," knowing you're going to. "Oh, I'm gonna end this relationship," knowing you're not going to. "I'm
Yeah. I'm
gonna
not
I
fuck
talk to him,
him.
and
Yeah.
I'm gonna block him, and you just keep lying to yourself, you're going to lose that relationship with self. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
break down that self-love, that self-confidence that, we're working so hard on building, and these lies are what will take you down. Like, at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point, you have to stop lying to yourself. I love this topic because it can be in all areas. You've got to stop the bullshit and the lying. Stop telling yourself, "Well, there's nothing I can take off my plate." To be able to
Mm-hmm.
date or to be able to go to the gym or to be able to track
Yeah.
my macros. My life is so busy, I can't even track my macros. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you can absolutely lie to yourself about anything, but you're doing yourself a disservice, obviously. I mean,
Absolutely.
and I know people listening are thinking, how do you trust yourself and your instinct and that gut feeling? Because you did this. I know you did this with the last guy. I don't even know what we're gonna call him. Fuckface is what we
Fuckface.
normally call him.
We just call it
So he's just
fuckface.
gonna be fuckface. So I remember when it was getting really bad with you guys, you started questioning yourself. You
Oh,
started
yeah.
asking yourself, am I crazy? Am I the abusive one? Did I do this?
Yep.
Did I cause this? Because a compulsive liar will make you feel insane and then you don't trust yourself, but that's why they do it. And if you don't know how to tell the difference between am I judging this new person and being paranoid about this new
Mhm.
person because it's my gut instinct, or
Right.
is this my past fucking trauma?
Yes.
Unfortunately, if you have been in relationships with narcissists or people who are abusive or people that are liars, drug addicts, we tend to unfortunately attract them because of all the damage that it's done to us.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started realizing that I could see these guys coming a mile away now.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh my god." And I could tell the difference between this is my past trauma and this is actually who this person is. I've been spot on now for a while. I mean, I'm not to say it's perfect. I've had some pretty interesting dates and some pretty funny things. You know,
Mhm.
people are weird, but I can say that I've broke a pattern that is huge, and
Yeah.
I do know when to walk away. And I do know when to stop things and
Right.
when things aren't right and not to force those things
Right.
because you don't want to be alone or you want this person or they're really hot or they're really good in bed
Mhm.
or
Or I
they
don't
look
wanna
great on
get
paper.
divorced, or
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
like, what if I say something and catch him in this lie, and then I'm moving out and living with my mom
Do
and
you
dad and
rem
they're divorced?
Yes. Do you remember
Do it
when you were
anyway.
first going through everything with Stacy? Because that's where we're just gonna stick with that one, Stacy and fuckface. So, I remember, maybe you don't remember this, but you were trying to figure out how to get him, like, the pictures off of your Facebook and clean that up, and you actually asked me to do it for you because you're like, "I can't do this," and I did. I went in and cleaned it up. And, you were marked in a relationship because it no longer was tagging him anymore, and you were just in a relationship, and I'm like, "Melissa, you need to change that. You need to either leave it blank or put single." Do you remember what you said?
I don't actually.
You said that you didn't want to be marked as single because being single made you look like a loser.
That sounds like something I would say then.
Yeah. You're
Uh,
like, you had put so much weight
yeah, and value.
into being in a relationship versus being with somebody that wasn't the right person for you. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, wow, you
Which was
literally
a
stayed with this
fucking
person.
lie. That was a complete lie
Yeah.
that I had
No.
built in my head of, like, I hold more value and I look better if I'm, like, with someone and not alone. Like, it was so fucked up in my head. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
funny
it
you
was huge.
remember
So
that.
talk about a lie that you told yourself.
Mhm.
Like, wow, you
Yep.
thought that it was better to be with this person that you were supporting financially that was doing drugs,
Right?
that was having you pay him to do things around the house he was living in,
And not
like.
paying rent.
Right.
Yeah. The lies, the lies I told myself and how that was okay, and it's better this way than the other way, and, like, holy shit. No. So you guys,
Mm-mm.
let people call you out on your bullshit.
Yep.
Let people stop. Be big enough. Be a big enough man, a big enough woman to pause and go, "Oh, fuck. Are they right? Wait, hold
Mhm.
on. Am I just feeding myself a bunch of bullshit right now?"
Yep.
Like, be grown enough to stop
Mhm.
and listen to other people and not take things personal. Be like, "Oh my god, why would you think that of me? Like, why are you saying that?" Or like, "That's not true." Sometimes you need to stop and be like, "Oh, fuck, that is true."
But it's listening to people,
Yeah.
and instead of just being like, "No, this is the way that I am,"
Mm,
see if they've got a valid thing,
yeah.
to say, like.
And I feel like that's part of like 90% of my job is like calling people out on their bullshit and just be like, "When
Mhm.
did you start believing that? That's a lie that you've been telling yourself." And in one-on-one coaching, that gets brought up all the time with everything beyond the gym. I mean, sure, the gym is obvious, like, "I don't have
Yeah.
time." That's a fucking lie. Are you kidding me? We all have the same hours and minutes in the day.
Yep.
I
We're
don't wanna
all
hear.
busy.
Yeah, we're all
Everybody's
busy.
busy, you know?
I don't know how to eat healthy. Are you kidding me? Yes, you do. You know this is a better choice than this. Like,
Mhm.
can we fine tune it? But a lot of the lies come out in, like, relationships, and how all of everything that they're struggling with on their health and fitness comes out into their relationships and all seeps in. It's all meshed together. And there's a
Yep.
lot of lies that I have to be like, "Wait, hold on. Why are you saying this? Why are you believing this?"
Yeah.
So if you need help calling yourself out on your bullshit, book a call.
Right?
Go to the link
Yeah.
in the show notes and book a call. Do a 30-minute call with me, and we'll help navigate that.
No more lying to yourselves.
Oh, Jen, this was great. I'm so glad
Yeah.
that we got to do this again. We'll be back, you guys, the last Thursday of every month. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
have more, but if there's ever a topic that you want us to talk about or dive into, or if you have questions, reach out to Jen on her social media. Jen, what's your social media handle?
Just find me, Jen Corte.
Jen Corte.
Just find me.
Outei. Or you can DM me. It's Melissa Vogel. You can DM the podcast, Bomb Life Podcast, on social media, or you can email the show. It's Melissa Vogel at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. As always, go to the show notes, check out the links that we put in there, book a call with me, book a call with Jen. If you need her line of work, we're always here to help. And then please don't forget to rate and review the show. 5 stars if you feel
Yes.
appropriate. It's like leaving us a huge tip in the tip jar. It does a lot for us. So, all right, Jen, we will be back on soon. You guys check us out on YouTube. And always go back and listen to all the shows and all the episodes. They're there for you. All right. Bye, everyone. Stay safe, stay
Bye.
healthy. Until next time. The Bomb Life Podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The content shared here is not intended as medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any health, fitness, financial, or legal decisions. The opinions shared on this podcast are personal experiences and insight. So if you need expert guidance, go find the right professional for you. Thanks for listening.